we go. Right. I have no idea if anybody's here with us yet. Looks like not. So I'll just start cooking, and if somebody joins, well, then they're going to say hello. Probably doesn't help to have my camera on the left-hand side, considering my left hand is going to always be in the way of it then. But it is what it is. Not sure anybody's watching at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to be one of those days with the damned onions. So the title says it all. We're making some chili. So we've done the onions. Now we're peeling some garlic. Hey, welcome. Where are you from, Carlos? Making chili. Kinda. I mean, it's my version of chili, and I'm blind, so my knife skills are not going to be fantastic. But, well, I mean, with the name Carlos, you could be from just about anywhere. Right now I'm slicing the garlic. I mean, I'm blind. I mean, 2 years ago, I had 2 emergency surgeries, and now I am completely blind. Um, in my left eye, and my right eye has 7% field of vision. So, for example, the chat is in my ear, and I also have it very large on my screen. Yeah, your name was Carlos Churcher, I think, but Carlos could be from anywhere. It was a little of both. Um, we're gonna actually start cutting the chilies while we talk. Um, I have an autoimmune disease that caused my eyes to bleed. And hello in Discord.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Mick. Mick has joined us. She's from the UK. She's joined us in Discord. Um, so Carlos has asked me about how I lost my vision. So just relating that. But my eyes were bleeding, and they assumed that it was diabetes, and so they treated me for diabetes. And they purposely killed my retina, thinking that that would make the bleeding stop. But guess what? The bleeding did not, in fact, stop. And by the time that they figured out that it was iron deficiency, they had destroyed my retina in both eyes. So, Mick, what are you up to today?
I can't decide whether or not to crochet or game.
I suggest crocheting because WoW has become utterly toxic. Working on the next chili. We're working on the sweet chilies right now, by the way. Are you watching the stream?
I am.
Nice. So then you can help to respond to chat. Do you like chili?
I love chili.
Me too. I don't remember how old I was when I had my first chili. It's like an American thing. Like everybody grows up eating chili, and in the fall, I think you have chili and cornbread. That's like the first meal of fall. I should give you administrative powers in my Twitch, Mick, because it's much too difficult for me to like see who my viewers are at the moment and respond to them.
So those are some damn big chilies. Where are they from? Says
Okay.
Carlos.
I'm not sure exactly where these chilies. I think these ones came, I think, from Portugal, but I'm not entirely certain. I went to the market. I live really close to the biggest and best market in the Netherlands. It's called the Haagse, and that's where I got all of my chilies for today. And we got the sweet chili variety. We have the mildly spicy variety. We have the jalapeno variety. And then we have bell peppers. Carlos, you never told me. Where are you from? From America? Have I lost Mick?
I tend to make beef minced chili.
Yeah, there's going to be beef in this one. Well, I shouldn't say.
If I am making which is beef and pork mince, but that's more for my spaghetti rather than chili.
Yeah, I have a combination beef and pork. Not something that you can find in the States very easily, unless you specifically go to a butcher. But that's what I have today as well. I was at the market yesterday and I considered getting lamb mince, but it was a little on the pricey side because apparently lamb is not in season yet, so. So which crochet are you working on today?
Well, I figure I should probably get on with the kangaroo.
Yeah, well, when does Chewy get there?
Friday.
Oh, fun times. And he stays the whole weekend?
I get him for almost an entire week.
Holy. Okay, so you have to tell me the connection between
Um,
Chewy and kangaroos because he's Irish. So what does an Irishman want with a kangaroo?
Okay, so his favorite animal was an alpaca. So back when we first started dating, I crocheted him an alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
That's the prick. That was my first ever crochet project.
Oh, I
An
think you told me that.
intermediate with first stitch.
And the kangaroo?
He asked me for it.
Okay. He's
Um,
interesting.
he said, "Would you mind making me a kangaroo to sit on my desk?" I went, "Okay."
Okay, so I have basically an entire pan of chilies happening. Also, to anybody watching, you might randomly see cats jump in and out of the window behind me. Happens.
Yeah, well,
Like, I kind of figure why buy a cat flap when I can just leave a window open. I need a bigger pan. Mick, I need a bigger pan.
I don't know where you keep your pans, sorry.
No, I mean, this is actually my biggest saucepan. I used to have a bigger, like, chili pan, but, well, it got used too much. It died. By the way, I did share the Discord in my Facebook. So, it is possible, though unlikely, it is possible we will have other visitors in the stream with us. How's it sound, by the way? Sound okay? All right.
There's the occasional jump, but I'm not sure if that's on my end or yours.
Probably mine. I live in a house with concrete walls, and while I am only one room away from my router, um, yeah, it's not happy. In case you were curious what that horrible noise was, I pre-sharpened my knives before I start, but apparently these chilies are dull making, so I had to resharpen midway. Let's see. Don't forget if you're watching to throw a follow on me, because that helps. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to say hi. We're making chili, or well, kinda, my version of it. Right now we're working on, we just finished the peppers. Now we're going to work on the tomatoes. What's your favorite chili, Mick? Like, do you have like a favorite chili pepper?
So I love sweet chilies.
Yeah, me too.
Funny story. I was in Nepal, and we were at a chili farm. So they bring out these plates and plates of chili, and it's like roulette. So for every 30 sweet chilies, there's one hot one.
Oh boy.
And me and my dad, we are just eating and eating and eating these. Now, one of the scout ladies that come with us,
Mm-hmm.
Fran, she was looking at us going, "How can you eat those?" And we're like, "Well, they're sweet. They're sweet. They're really easy to eat."
Mm-hmm.
She only goes and picks up the only hot chili in the bunch, doesn't she?
Typical. I inherited a strong reaction to capsaicin from my mother. That's the thing that makes you sweat when you eat chilies. So because I can eat what do you call it, mustard and wasabi like there's no tomorrow, but chilies, I sweat a lot and my face gets red. So I'm not a huge chili fan, but I do like the sweet chilies. I like banana peppers. I think those are probably my favorite. But there's a thing that we do in the States where we pickle jalapenos and we put them in a bottle, which sounds really not as awesome as it actually is. It's really good. Like those too. Oh, and what do they call them? Jalapeno poppers. Kind of a big thing. But that's cheese. I mean, who doesn't love cheese, right? Definitely need a bigger pan, or I need to stop making so much chili. One of the two.
What about 2 pans?
I could do that. That's probably a better idea than this disaster I have happening here. Let's see if I have another pan. Well, you know, I do. It's my very loud coffee machine. See? Now I'm going to have 2 pans. I don't think you can see it very well, but I'm gonna. You know what's gonna happen, right? Like all of the hot chilies are gonna end up in one pan.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Alright, so we have those sauteing at the moment over medium heat. And then I'm gonna do a thing now that might be considered blasphemy, but it is what it is. You're gonna consider it blasphemy.
Sorry, what's blasphemy?
I'm putting mushrooms in the chili.
Disgusting.
I told you. What? How could you? Right? It's not disgusting. It's about to be loud up in here. Not as loud as I thought. But I do have to sharpen my knife. I didn't do it properly the last time because I was worried about the noise, but it's going to drive me nuts. So it's happening. Is it ungodly loud when I sharpen the knife?
Nope.
I'm not as fast with it as the pro chefs are. So there's that.
Don't worry, neither am I.
Right. So what we have in here so far is 1 large onion, 1 normal capsicum or bell pepper or paprika, whatever you want to call it, bell pepper. We have 3 sweet chilies, um, 5 medium hot chilies, and 4 jalapenos, and garlic. 4 cloves of garlic so far. And now we just put in mincemeat. And now we're cleaning our space because I mean, why wouldn't you? Right? And now, most of it's going to be cooking. I'm going to put in some salt. Be liberal because you have tomatoes in there. My hands are shaking. That's not good.
What kind of salt do you use?
I use sea salt, but I mean, if you are wanting to be kosher, you can use kosher salt. I'm using a mix on the ground black pepper. It's actually 4 peppers, and I'm going to put in some smoked paprika because who doesn't love that? It's funny. The blind girl is eyeballing it. Come on, it's funny.
I'm not the biggest fan of smoked paprika
No?
or smoked paprika. But you've got me saying it American-like.
You're welcome. Sometimes I make my own smoked paprika, but it's been a long time. Used to more when I was in the States and I had my own smoker. Now I would have to have a smoking gun. And can I tell you what a pain in the tuchus that is? Need to do some investigating because I couldn't find cinnamon, so I'm hoping I have a backup stash. Because I mean, you cannot have chili without cinnamon. I mean, you can, but why would you?
I don't put cinnamon in my chili.
Blasphemy. Have a look in my good old spice drawer.
I've never considered putting cinnamon in it.
Maybe you should. This is what it sounds like when a blind girl is digging around in her spice drawer trying to find stuff. Check up here again. Bingo.
Do you put turmeric in your chili?
No. Right, so if I don't have fresh chilies, then I will put in chili powder, chili flakes, cayenne pepper, um, and cinnamon. If I do have fresh chilies, then I just do my regular chilies. And I always put garlic. I mean, if you don't want to be bothered with whole garlic, you can use garlic powder, but it depends on your level. I assume you put turmeric in yours?
I do, yes.
A lot of people put cilantro in their chili, and um, I'm gonna just be straight up about it. I have that genetic situation where cilantro tastes like soap to me. So
I would put fresh coriander in
yeah,
at the very end on my own bowl.
yeah, that would be completely acceptable as well. I can't. It tastes like dish soap to me. It's one of the biggest problems I have going to like a standard um, Mexican takeout place. Um, they always want to put coriander in everything. Coriander seed, coriander, mashed cilantro. Stop it. I do from time to time put cumin in things just because it has a little bit of umami, but I'm not entirely certain that's as like traditional as it gets.
I like to put cumin in, turmeric. I put the turmeric in more for the anti-inflammatory benefits and not necessarily for the taste. I would put cayenne pepper and chili powder. I would normally still use fresh chilies, not sweet chilies, but hot chili or medium hot chilies. I use sea salt.
Yeah, right.
I would also put ginger in mine.
I'm gonna do two things that might seem a little bit strange for some of you. If you have an issue with citric acid or too much acid and you need to mitigate it, you can do so with sugar. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of brown sugar. It's actually gonna make the chili taste really nice. So I'm doing that. And the next thing is like the most American thing ever, which I guarantee you don't do in the UK. You see what this is? Maybe? I think it's glaring too much. Maybe if I do it up here. Cocoa powder.
Mm.
Or you don't want to be too heavy on the cocoa powder. You don't. But you're going to put about 1 teaspoon cocoa powder. Then now you can do the next bit. This can be loud. A number of ways. You can um, you can use beer. You can use rum or whiskey, or you can use coffee. But one way or another, you want a nice acid with a depth of flavor to go in here. And I'm going to use an espresso to achieve it.
I would use balsamic vinegar.
You could, but I don't want it to be. Um, Balsamic has a really strong flavor, and I like coffee. I like if I had beer, I would use beer, but I don't have beer. And I do have rum, but not a whole lot of it. And well, you got to have something to drink
Well,
with
that's
your
because the
chili.
rum goes in the cookies and Husky's drunk all the beer.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but yes, yeah. Depending on the following, I very well might make some sugar cookies while this is happening because it's almost Halloween and I feel like I need to make some cutout cookies. Don't you feel like I need to make some cutout cookies? I feel like I need to make some cutout cookies. All right, so we're putting in some pureed tomato because
Blind girl makes good cookies. Seeing girl can't make cookies for the life of her.
oh come on, I saw your sugar work. Which reminds me, I need to.
Sugar work, yes. Cookies, no.
You can't make cookies?
No.
Okay, talk to me about what happens when you make cookies.
Well, they normally get burnt or get burnt on the outside and gooey on the inside, or
Cooking them too hot.
I haven't made cookies in about 4 years because of that. I cook anything else, just not cookies.
I'm kind of the queen of, well, I should, that's a strong title, but I'm really good at pastries and cookies and things. And if something goes wrong with the cookie, I can usually tell you what it is. Like if it's too hard, cookie is too crispy. I mean, whatever you want to use. You can use yogurt. You can use vegetable-based yogurt and still get a really good cookie. So I'm just adding the beans in now. You can,
What beans do you use?
I'm using kidney beans. You can get the dry beans, of course, and pre-soak them and pre-cook them yourself. And if you really want to be traditional, then you'd actually cook them in your chili. But um, Mom ain't got time for that today. So I'm using canned kidney beans. I do not get it with the sauce because I think that, well, you can't control then how much flavor that's adding and what flavor that's adding to your chili. So no thanks. I'd rather do the chili myself.
The water that comes out of the kidney beans,
Yep.
Did you know that that's called aquafaba?
I did not.
And you can actually use that in place of eggs.
Now you're telling me something I didn't know. I can imagine
Uh,
because I would imagine it's just loaded with all kinds of fiber in there. Come off the beans.
yes, so the water from chickpeas and kidney beans, I use chickpeas as well in my chili, is called aquafaba, and you can whisk it much like you whisk egg whites, and therefore it does the same job as egg whites if you put them into cupcakes or cakes such as that.
Neat. Now I do use. Sometimes I use chickpeas, by the way, um, in my chili. Not usually, but sometimes I do. But you can use chickpeas and chickpea flour as the base um, of all kinds of pastries. I have a no sugar added, almost I think it's like under 100 calories chocolate cake that is ooey gooey and delicious, and it uses chickpeas as the base. So in the Netherlands, they tend to use what do you call them? Brown beans instead of chili beans. Not a big huge fan of brown beans. I don't. They don't taste the same. So our chili is just cooking away. By the way, feel free to say hi in chat if you're watching, because it's a lot easier for you to say hi to me than it is for me to look and see that you're here. By the way, we totally are going to make cookies. Did I just say that? Because if I didn't say that, I'm saying it now.
Sorry, attempting to count to 6.
Right, well, I know you had problems with counting to 3 the other day, so.
What? That's because I'm chatting.
That's because you're what?
Chatting.
Oh, well, fair enough. Right, so this is my
The
mom's
brain
sugar
just
cookie.
wants to keep going and, do an entire full round. And I'm like, no, I've got to count.
Right? Um, by the way, this cookie recipe that I'm going to do, it's my mom's sugar cookie recipe. And I have not had to look at this recipe since I was like 10. So, but it's going to, when I say it, it's going to be in American measurements. But when I write it, I will write it in metric. So we have to start with um, 250 grams or a half pound of butter. We are going to cream that. And we're getting out our trusty measuring cups because we need them. And to make the proper sugar cookies, you need brown sugar and you need white sugar. And you need half a cup of packed brown sugar. And for those of you who are not cooking experts, packed brown sugar just means that you pack it in the cup. 3/4 cup of white sugar. I mean, these are sugar cookies, right?
Are we talking caster or granulated?
Caster. And then you're gonna need baking soda. Come on, work with me here. And you need a teaspoon and a quarter.
Baking soda.
Yeah, baking soda. Actual. baking soda. What do you call it? Soda bicarbonate?
Bicarbonate of soda, yeah. And my brain's just going, which one are we doing?
Ah, right. The other next thing you need is baking powder. And for whatever reason, here they come in stupid little packets, which are really annoying. Why can't they just come in a box or a jar like normal? But whatever. And you need a teaspoon of that. And then you need some salt. You need about half a teaspoon of salt. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know, and that is that if you want something to taste sweeter, add salt to it. If you want something to taste more savory, add a little sugar to it. Counteracting flavors can often increase the flavor of whatever it is you want. So, for example, one of my best and favorite cakes, despite not liking chocolate, is my mom's chocolate sheet cake. We're going to cream this together, by the way, which has cayenne pepper in it. And it's chocolate cake. Can you believe it? But it's like the best chocolate cake you'll ever eat. Did you get lost counting?
I did.
So right now we have the chili on the stove, and it's just bubbling away. And I'm about to add the wild rice to it now. Should do that, I suppose. Is wild rice easy for you to get in the UK?
I don't know. I've never looked for it. I wouldn't normally put rice in my chili.
Oh, I do. So wild rice is black, in case you didn't know. Long grain wild rice is black. You can have brown varieties too, but it is entirely non-processed. So when you're going to add it to something, it takes a lot longer to cook than regular rice. Your white rice that you get that takes, like 20 minutes, half an hour to cook. Not this. This takes 45 minutes to an hour. Also, it's not glutinous at all, so it doesn't stick to anything. It maintains its texture. Right. Back to creaming our butter and sugar. Right, now I need eggs. So I learned a cool
Frog
thing.
the round.
What did you say?
I've just had to frog the round.
Oh no, that's no mood.
I realised I was doing actually the wrong step.
Oh no.
I only need to count to 5.
So you know how you can see 2 webcams?
Yes.
Okay, so I learned a thing today. I'm such a Gen Xer, it's not even funny. This is 30 medium eggs, by the way. So Husky said to me, you can always just hook up your iPhone as a webcam. And I'm like, what? How? I have a Windows PC. What? Yeah, apparently you can get apps that make your iPhone into a webcam. Who knew? I didn't know. Did you know?
No, but I do know that you can sometimes use them as the cameras.
Well, I figured, like if you have an Android phone, then it going to a Windows phone would not be a big, or Windows computer would not be a big thing. But um, an iPhone to a Windows computer, why? But yeah, it works. Appears to work just fine. Nobody's talking to me in chat. Make them talk to me in chat.
That's because it might only be me in here.
It's because what?
It might just be me in here.
That could be. My headset is telling me to charge it, so I probably only have 5 minutes left on my headset before it's done with my shit. So it's 2¼ cups of flour, but when you're using gluten-free flour, it might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less. So I've had an idea, Mick.
Yes.
Yeah, so my idea is that you're really good with sugar work, which, you know, I'm a blind person. That's a lot harder for me to make things pretty. And I am a really, really, really good baker. I mean, you might be a good baker too. I don't know. I think you are, because you do good cakes, I think.
Yes.
So what do you say we go into business?
Love. I'd love to.
We should do it.
Just whether or not the joints go, no, we're done now.
It's just whether or not what?
Whether or not the body says we're done now.
Well, that's the very handy thing about going into business together, is if you're having an off day, I can cover it. And probably the same thing. Also, I feel like we should be a special events kind of a thing, like weddings, birthdays.
Yeah, that could be better.
Okay, so for your standard sugar cookie, you are normally going to add vanilla extract. That's what everybody on the planet adds. It is not what I add. I'm not sure if anyone recognizes this bottle, but that's going in there, and a little of that's going in my coffee. I mean, it's afternoon, right?
It's afternoon.
Will you remind me I need to go buy some more rum?
Oh well.
Ooh, coffee and rum, so delicious. What time is it anyway? So, Lynn's sugar cookie dough is what it looks like. Would that take me like 10 minutes to whip that together?
Yep.
It goes in the fridge. Here's an important thing to remember if you're watching this live or if you're watching a recording of this. Always put your cookie dough in the fridge. It always has to rest. Whatever fat you are using, it doesn't matter if it is vegetable fat or animal fat. If you put it into the oven warm, you've killed your cookies. Every time.
Maybe that's what I'm not doing.
Could be. Whatever your fat is has to be cold when it goes in the oven. So what I typically do um, is I let it rest in the fridge for 20 minutes to a half an hour or longer. You can let it go longer. Um, Roll it out, cut it out, put it on baking trays, put it back in the fridge 10 to 20 minutes, put it in a hot oven, straight in the oven that is pre-warmed. Most cookies, most sugar cookies are 11 to 12 minutes in a pre-warmed oven. Never put more than one sheet in at a time, always in the middle of the oven. And you will, so long as you got your measurements right, you will almost always come out with a perfect cookie. So, now what I'm going to do, Nick, I scheduled this for like 2 hours, but my chili just pretty much needs to simmer. My cookies need
Oh
to
no.
rest. My headset's about to die, which means I'm going to have to go get a headset. I was going to make cornbread with this, but I don't have any cornmeal. So that's kind of a thing. Um, is it easier for you to get cornmeal in the UK? Do you even know what cornmeal is the next question.
I do. Sorry, was counting.
No worries.
Apparently it's quite easy. My mum makes cornbread all the time.
Okay, so here, when I say cornmeal, everybody thinks that I mean corn flour or corn starch, which is not the same thing.
No.
And the only way that I have found anything resembling cornmeal is if I buy polenta. And I'm like, it's a bit too fine and a bit too gooey, but you can get there. But let me show you these, what I just got at the market. They're fantastic. And I thought about making them into cornbread, but I just couldn't do it to myself. Look at Asa. Look at this corn. It's beautiful. I got 3 of them. I can't tell myself to cut this off the cob and make cornbread out of it. Cornbread is for when the corn is not so nice.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Contemplating having it with the chili.
My wife's not allowed that, so we don't have it very often.
No corn?
Nope.
Difficult to digest, I assume.
Intolerance.
I can't imagine. I need to get together with her sometime and talk about all of her different intolerances because I sort of see it as a challenge. One of the biggest things that I find really cool is when I can make something that is vegan or gluten free or both or free from this, free from that, um, without anybody knowing it. And they say things like, "Oh, I can't believe that." So I want to get together with your bestie slash wife, and I want to make food that she can eat without it being without anybody being able to tell.
I'll tell you what she's intolerant to.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because I'm the one that does the cooking.
Okay, I know there was
So
peach.
I just so she is the intolerances start with wheat, barley, gluten, or wheat, barley, and the gliadin. Then it's casein, cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk. We've also got egg whites, pea protein, and maize.
But she's okay with soy.
Yes.
Okay, and all legumes other than peas.
Yes.
And are there things that she doesn't like mushrooms and things like that?
She loves mushrooms.
Okay. And
She doesn't like carrots. but I still feed them to her anyway, disguised. I made a tagine and I put carrots in it, and the carrots ended up the same sort of texture as sweet potato
Mm.
and butternut squash. So she ate them without realizing they were carrots.
Mm.
She does not like pumpkin. She will not eat pumpkin.
But she eats squash?
Yes.
Okay, explain that one to me.
She used to work at a theme park
Yeah?
where every year they would do a pumpkin carving contest that she had to oversee for 3 days. So 3 days of constantly smelling the pumpkins and then eating the stuff that came out of them, and
Fair enough.
yeah,
I'm gonna taste this chili. Are you ready? It's probably gonna be like burn my face off kind of chili.
nice.
Sweet mother of pearl. I'm gonna definitely need some rum.
Nice.
Mm. Also, that needs more salt.
I've just seen your face.
I mean, it's good, but you know
Because
that.
obviously Discord is not lined up with the stream, so you said it and then I watched for your face.
Yeah, so let me just tell you, it has a really nice depth of flavor. It is really, really nice, and it's not overpoweringly hot. You can taste the sweet chili, you can taste the hint of brown sugar and things, but and the cocoa in there. But holy, it is tomorrow. That's gonna be inedible because you know stuff. The longer that the chili sits in there, the hotter that's gonna be. So I swear I'm
That's
not
when
pouring
that's
myself some
when you
more rum.
serve it with sour cream and cheese.
I don't have any sour cream, but there will be cheese.
Yogurt.
I think there's some strawberry Greek yogurt. Oh yeah.
That may not do the same thing.
No, I don't think so. So I just poured myself some more rum in my coffee. Before long, I'm gonna be so tipsy. I don't actually care how hot it is. So the chili is absolutely done. We're gonna try it again. See how it is.
Just waiting for that wild rice to cook off.
Good morning. Just a moment. I need to dab my forehead. It is sweating. Do you have the sweat response to capsaicin?
I don't know. Possibly.
When you eat a hot pepper, do you get sweaty?
I've never really correlated the two as to whether or I don't thermoregulate very well to start with.
Oh, me either.
So I don't know whether or not it's me or a reaction.
Well, the next time you eat hot chilies, if you sweat, then this was what the problem was. So, my chili's done, and I have to wait a while for my sugar cookies, and my headset's about to die. So, I think I will call it for this stream, and then I will come back on regular Discord to chat with you if you like.
Sounds good.
Thanks for coming along, and I have a cat coming in the window. And till next time.